Guys, this is Jason from Softail USA, and I'm going to show you a couple things you can do real quick to check a charging system on a Harley Davidson if it's not charging. Okay, first thing you want to do is you want to check your battery voltage using a meter. So we have a multimeter here, and we've already checked our battery. We've put it on, you want to make sure it's on DC for direct current, because that's what your battery produces. Put it on your two terminals, and we get 12.79 volts on this one. Now we know this already because the customer brought it in. We have 12.79 volts. So that tells us that the battery is probably pretty healthy. And this is something you can do. A meter like this is pretty inexpensive. You can get one at Sears for around 29 bucks. It'll do everything you want it to do. I recommend getting a digital meter. The digital meter is going to have just the quickest readout. They're small. You can fit them in your toolbox. They're not really something you'd want to carry on your bike with you, but it'll do the job for you. The next thing we want to do is you want to make sure you have your meter also set for alternating current. And we're going to start the bike up here in a minute. Right down here is your plug on the front of your engine. Now this is an evolution. The newer bikes have twin cams, and the twin cams have the plug under the rectifier. But either way, this test is done the same way. We're going to check this right now for alternating current, which means we're going to set our voltage for AC, and we're going to start the bike up real quick. Make sure that your bike is in neutral. You have two pins here. You're going to produce, out of your stator, you're going to produce alternating current. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to insert them into both sides, and we're going to rev the engine up to 2,000 RPM. Now in your typical Softail, you don't want to see more than 42 volts. We didn't even go to 2,000 RPM, and we were over 45 volts, which tells me the stator in this bike is ready for replacing. Now there's another test you do too. It's called the open test. Sometimes your stator will show that it's producing 42 volts at 2,000 RPM, and that's great. But there's another test you need to do, and at this test you want to set your digital meter for audible, checking for continuity. You do not want to have any continuity between the engine case and the stator. And the way you check this is you ground the black lead to the engine, and then you insert the red lead into each one of the leads in the stator. Now in this case, we're not getting any continuity between the case and the stator, which is good, which means the stator's not shorted off the block. However, we know that the stator's bad because it produced 45 volts and it was only at about 1,500 RPM. I am going to plug the rectifier back in. The rectifier, what that does is when the stator produces alternating current, it goes through a series of diodes and comes out to the battery as direct current, which is what the battery produces. So we're going to go ahead and do another running test. We're going to set our meter back up for DC voltage, and we're going to insert the positive in the red terminal and the positive terminal on the battery, and we're going to start the bike back up. We're already down to 12.4 volts, which tells me that something's taking this battery down. I'm going to rev it up to 2,000 RPM. We had no discernible gain, which tells me that, in fact, the charging system is ready for replacing. I recommend replacing all three components. If you've got a good battery, I want to replace the rotor, the stator, and the rectifier, and that way you can be sure that everything's new, and an electrical component can sometimes fail without any warning at all. I'm Jason from Softail USA. Thanks for watching.